Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel, our website, or my Instagram. Reach out to me directly, tmosso at thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing one of the best new sports watches of 2019. This is the Omega Seamaster Diver 300-meter chronograph, 44 millimeters in stainless steel. It's the latest chronograph variant of the model line often known as the Bond Seamaster. So 44 millimeters in diameter. The watch is chunky, in profile 17.5 millimeters thick, and with pivoted end links to the bracelet. The lug-to-lug dimension is the distance across the wrist, and that distance is 52.5 millimeters. Spacing between the lugs is 21 millimeters if you want to throw a strap on it, but the bracelet will implore you not to, as it's one of the best in the business. Finally, as solid and redoubtable as the products of Rolex, this Seamaster bracelet feels as good as it looks. Now, the watch is substantial. I wouldn't necessarily wear it on a wrist smaller than 15 centimeters circumference. I think it would overwhelm you a bit at that point, but the fact that it uses pivoted rather than solid end links does allow it to fit well around the edges of a borderline wrist. Now, the watch is substantial. This feels like a gold watch from any other brand, and a lot of that's down to the solidity of the bracelet and the clasp. Always good on the original 90s Bond Seamaster. Today it's better. You can see its profile is more squared off at the edge of the lug, so it looks more like a sports watch bracelet and less like a dress watch bracelet. You still have the 5-link design with the polished intermediates, but now you have screws fixing the removable links rather than the old pin sleeves. You can see on the underside, Omega knows how to build a bracelet. There are big gaps between the links on the underside to avoid pinching skin, pulling hair, or trapping wrist heat. You'll also appreciate the use of half links in the clasp, and then you have a couple of adjustments built in. By the way, the clasp and the swing arm machined out from the solid, so very, very secure. The timepiece featuring the double adjustments, of which I spoke a moment ago. You have a fold-out extension, and then you have a push-button slider that gives you 9.6 millimeters of incremental adjustment, so you have both the ability to remove links and then the ability to use adjustments inside the clasp. By the way, the addition of the push-button slider to the Diver 300 meter is new for this generation. Previously, you had to get a Ploprop or a Planet Ocean to avail yourself of that feature. Close it all up, and by the way, if you're wondering, some people buy these things and lose their nerve before they put a scratch on it. So they buy it, they realize they got in over their head with an expensive thing, and they try to sell it before there's a scratch and before removing the stickers. Don't be that guy. Enjoy the watch, but whatever. All the better for the next owner. For 2018 and 2019, we get a new helium escape valve. As ever, it opens up the inside of the watch when you're ascending from a dive using exotic gas mixtures, and when the internal pressure reaches 2 to 3 bar greater than the exterior, what will happen is the accumulated helium will exit via the valve rather than blowing out your sapphire and your seals. The main change is that it's now conical like a Reese's peanut butter cup, and you can open it during the dive, something previously not possible. Roll around to the flank with the crown, and you can see that we have new ceramic chronograph pushers which look as good as they feel, and they also avoid scratching. They feature little shoulders that make them look like screw-down pushers, but they are not. You don't need to screw them up or down to use them, and the watch still has 300-meter water resistance. Screw-down crown, 300-meter resistance, helium escape valve. Let's hear the bezel. This is now easily the best feeling and sounding Omega Seamaster Diver 300 bezel I've encountered. The insert is ceramic, the white calibrations are cold enamel. Line it up with the Bond style, that's what they're often called, the Bond style skeleton hands, and you've got a 0 to 60 minute timer, which is handy because the chronograph register only reads 30 minutes. And you do have a mono counter at 3 o'clock, chronograph hours and minutes on one register, so you can easily read the chronograph display on a single register on a twin register dial, keeping everything clean. There is no third register for chronograph hours. Now you'll note the Omega Wave is back for 2019. It was gone from 2012 to 2017 with lacquered dials taking the place of the previous Omega Wave. Well, it's back here in ceramic. You can see zirconium oxide written just under the hands. The ceramic effectively just like enamel in terms of its beauty, its durability, and its endurance over time, but it's not expensive and delicate like enamel. Laser etched wave pattern. The date moves from 3 o'clock down to 6 o'clock, and the watch features a number of subsidiary setting modes, the first of which is a time zone function that allows you to adjust the hour independently. You can drive the date forward or backwards as you travel east or west, and then you'll note nothing stops. The watch continues to tick. You pull the crown out all the way. Now you activated hacking seconds. So you've stopped the seconds and you can set the watch to a reference time. Let's pop the clasp open as much as we possibly can and try to take a look at the movement. This is the Master Chronometer 9900. Twin mainspring barrels, 60-hour power reserve, shock resistant with a full bridge and a free sprung balance. It's also anti-magnetic to the point of being amagnetic with a silicon hairspring. Adjusted in 6 positions, it goes through the METAS Master Chronometer standard, which is all the COSC standards and more, as it's a fully cased-up test of the full watch in 6 positions, not 5, and it includes water resistance, power reserve, winding efficiency, shock resistance, and anti-magnetism. It is a more comprehensive test. You can also see the column wheel through the skeletonized bridge. The watch has a column wheel for crisp actuation of the chronograph functions. It also has a vertical clutch, so you can engage the chronograph without any jump or stagger the hands, and you can leave the chronograph running full time with no hazard to the movement. The watch beats away at the coaxial specific 25,200 vibrations per hour, and the George Daniels invented coaxial escapement tri-level in this watch remains the most exotic escapement you can buy for under $50,000. This watch is the goods. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And I'm back with the Seamaster Chronograph. Note the loomed chronograph seconds hand, loomed sub-registers, and the differential green loom used for the minute hand and the bezel pearl for easy recognition during dives.